But I do want to share this. There is a wealth gap in home ownership. So, according to the US Census, Black Americans are still very underrepresented in home ownership, with 44% of Black families owning homes compared to 74% of white families. This gap has persisted for decades, reflecting broader systematic issues. We have a lot to fight through, and just with everyday life going on. So let's check out a couple of other stats on this, because it's really important to understand that this is not just mentality. It's actually things that have been done to us that we have to break through. So the median age of home buyers in 2024 has risen up to 56 from 45. Now, guys, I told y'all I bought my home when I was at the end of, I was 29 years old. Even 45 to me is a little older, right? So it's up from 45 just a few years ago. Now, this trend is a direct result of high home prices, rising mortgage rates, and economic pressures that have pushed younger buyers out of the market. I'm going to ask you, Marlo, do you agree with that? Do you believe that all of these factors are things that are holding the young generation back? Whereas the elders, like they're in their 50s now, they feel like they can possibly get over those barriers. Is that what you think is causing this disparity in age?
I mean, I want to know who set the age, right? Like, who said 25 or 29 or 23? Who said that there's a magical number associated with this, right? Like, I think that a lot of times we get so bogged down. Listen, love realtor.com, whoever put this study together, but sometimes we get bogged down into the demographics of the who, and we're not looking at the what, right? The what is the systemic issue that puts your granny in a position where, your grandfather died, she couldn't keep or take care of the house, or there wasn't enough knowledge of how valuable granny's house was, so when the gentrifiers came, you sold it. I think that there are definitely conversations that need to be had in the Black community about wealth building and ownership and all of those things. But I think that adding this arbitrary age assignment, right? Maybe in your 50s, you know better, right? Maybe when you're in your 50s, you aren't as impulsive as you are in your 20s. So taking on home ownership is more appealing to you in that age bracket where maybe you've worked up the success ladder, or maybe you've built your business to where you have a little bit of padding in terms of income coming in and you're not stretched to the hills. Maybe the idea of paying a mortgage and all the things associated with a home while you're raising small children is not really people's dream, right? Maybe people have a different dream. And so I think it's kind of odd to me, this arbitrary number that is thrown around for like the age of home ownership. I think you buy a home when you are ready to buy a home. I have a lot of friends who bought homes when they were young, ended up losing those homes. Joe talked about predatory lending, being a young home owner, a young home buyer, and getting trapped in a predatory lending situation, which, predatory lending is almost made for Black people, right? Made for Black people, made for poor whites and poor Hispanics. But I think that we get caught into these demographics that do not mean anything. Because when I look at somebody in their 50s, I think of somebody that's more stable. I think of somebody that is like planning and goal setting. When you're in your 20s, it's just an accomplishment.